Hello everyone, this is my project at Indian Servers. This is an individual project. The name of my project is Sentiment Analysis Using IMDb Reviews. What does the title mean? So, sentiment is a view or an opinion that can be held or expressed. In other words, it is exaggerated and self-indulgent feelings of tenderness, sadness, or nostalgia. On the other hand, sentiment analysis is the interpretation and classification of emotions. These emotions can be positive, negative, or even neutral. Sentiment analysis tools allow businesses to identify customer sentiment towards the products, brands, or services in online feedback. Let's take an example of sentiment analysis. For instance, sentiment analysis may be performed on Twitter to determine overall opinion on a particular trending topic. These companies and brands often utilize sentiment analysis to monitor brand reputation across various social media platforms. What exactly is IMDb? IMDb stands for Internet Movie Database. So it's a database. It is owned by Amazon and it has information related to movies, TV series, web series, and even video games, etc. etc. It also includes information about the cast, crew, plot summaries, ratings, fan and critic reviews. As far as our project is concerned, our main focus will be the reviews itself. Let's talk about the dataset. Our dataset will be divided into training dataset and test set. The reviews are the examples. The training set, as I mentioned earlier, will have 25,000 examples, as well as the test set will have same number of examples, 25,000. On further division of the training dataset, we have train set and validation set as shown in the diagram. If train set is 80%, then validation set will be 20%. And in the diagram, the right extreme, we have test set. How do we proceed? We will build a neural network model to solve a basic sentiment analysis problem. We will accomplish this with the help of upcoming list of tasks in the project. So this slide will give you a brief overview of what exactly is happening in our project. At the center, you will find a cartoon robot, which is the representation of the model we are about to create in the project. So on the left extreme, you have the review given by a random person. And when this review is fed to our model is supposed to predict if that review was a negative or a positive one. So these are the list of tasks that I have done in the project. The first one is loading of the data, then comes decoding of the reviews, followed by padding the examples, creating and training the model, predictions and evaluation. This is the diagram to give you a brief idea about the neural network we just mentioned in the previous slides. On the left extreme, B, X1 and X2 together form the input layer. On the right extreme, we have Y, which is the output. And before that, we have a single node layer called the output layer. And between the input layer and the output layer, we have two hidden layers, which are called hidden layer 1 and hidden layer 2. These hidden layers, each of them have two nodes. We will be using TensorFlow, which is an open source library for various machine learning tasks, and Keras, which is the neural network library. Both of them provides high level APIs for our tasks. And the third one is IMDb datasets, which I already mentioned. So let's move ahead to the explanation part. I have used Jupyter Notebook as my environment and Python as my programming language. I have also done a walkthrough of my project. The link to that walkthrough will be shared with you. And let's have a brief walkthrough in this video itself. Now let's see what tasks are included in the project. The first task is of importing. I have used TensorFlow and Keras and then I have imported the IMDb review data sets. Developers at Keras have already done some pre-processing on the IMDb datasets, only making our tasks easier. The next is loading of the data into the training dataset and test dataset, and to do so I have used the helper function called load data, and the number of words I have assigned to 10,000 means in the vocabulary 10,000 words are stored. Now let's see how exactly our examples look like. So for seeing that, I have printed the first training example indexed at 0. What we find is a set of tokens. Actually we expected is collection of words summing up to a review. We'll see about that. Then comes the labels. The 43rd example is probably negative review because 0 gets printed. If 1 was here, then the review would have been a positive review. For our convenience, I have defined the class names 0 for negative and 1 for positive. And if you want to know what exactly the index of a particular word present in the review is, then we can use the helper function called get word index. For example, index for word hello is 4822. Why at all we need a decoding part? As mentioned earlier, we found that review has set of tokens. Now we want to see what words exactly are present in the review, so this decoding function is defined, and before that we have exchanged the values and the keys to see the actual review, and then we have called the decode function on our first training example, and our actual review is here. Then we have defined show length function to see the initial reviews lengths, the first two training example and the first two test example, and they all have different lengths. This brings us to our next task, padding. Why at all do we need padding? Because about the neural networks we need to feed reviews of equal lengths, so we need the padding activity, and for that we will be doing the padding activity, and we will use the pad sequences function. Why this the is there? Because articles such as a and the etc are actually not required, are not helpful for our model, so we will better remove them. And how do we do that? We will use the padding pad sequence function. What exactly do we do here is, at last we will put the das, and then we will trim the unnecessary das and make the maximum length of each review 256. Now we call the length function, and what we see is all the lengths of the reviews become 256. Now we decode the first example again, and what we see, the unnecessary das have been removed, and some das that remain are padded at the last. Now we come to our most important part, or the most important task, creating and training of the model. We will use the sequential class and the three important layers called the dense, embedding, and global average pooling 1D layer. So here we create our model. We use the sequential class. The first layer is the embedding layer, dimension is 16. The second layer is a global average pooling 1D layer, and the penultimate layer is the dense layer with the activation function called as the rectified linear unit, and the last layer is also the dense layer, and the activation function for this is sigmoid. The very next task is to compile the model, where I have used loss as a binary cross entropy, optimizer as Adam, and metrics as accuracy. Then we see the summary of our model. Let's see what the summary exactly is. So here we got the layers, layer type, and the output shape, and the parameters we have in total. So the first layer is the embedding layer, the second one is the global average pooling 1D layer, and the penultimate layer is the dense layer, and the output layer is also the dense layer. And these are the number of total parameters. 0 is the non-trainable parameters, and 1,60,289 is the trainable parameters. Then we come to our lambda callback function. We use this to create our simple log, and we use this simple log again in our callbacks when we fit our model, and the validation split we use 0.2 means the validation part will be 20% and the rest 80% will be the training part. And 20 is the number of epochs we are using, so 0 to 19 sums up to 20. These are the steps or the epochs. This brings us to the final task, and the final task I have done some plotting using the matplot lib.py plot, and then I have labeled and shown the plot as well for the training and the validation. Okay, so the accuracy which we got is 84.2399%, which is okay. Then we have done our prediction and stored it into a variable called p, and then we have checked if it is greater than 0.5, then it will be a positive review, or else it will be a negative one. Then we print our first test example, and then again the set of tokens will come. We cannot really make it out if the review was actually negative. So we will again call our decode function on our first test example, and then we will have the set of words which is the actual review. And now how do we know if this review was negative and not positive? As mentioned earlier here, we can see some words like boring or sadly moreover 3 times. This evaluates that our prediction was correct and the review is actually negative.